What's up, people? Niger turned down an offer to help with restoring democracy from the USA. I'm Chibuzo Machuku. I would appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. In the last week of July, like I said in an earlier recording, Niger had a coup which deposed the elected president Mohamed Bazoum, replacing him with junta leader Abdurrahman Tian. Bazoum was removed for poor leadership, bad economy, corruption, and failure to contain terrorism. He's currently detained by the military junta. The USA and France suspended aid to the country. ECOWAS, the organization controlling the economy in the west of Africa, where Niger is, had given the country a deadline, August the 6th, to restore Bazoum or face military intervention. The deadline passed, but no sign of ECOWAS yet. The USA offered to help restore democracy the diplomatic way. Niger, however, rejected it. I'll roll the clips now.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that diplomacy is the best way to deal with the coup crisis in Niger. He said this is the approach taken by ECOWAS and the approach the U.S. approves as well. U.S. Acting Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland said the junta are firm in their view of how they want to proceed. As per Nuland, Washington offered ways to restore democratic order, but the junta officials showed little interest. The U.S. has also paused over $100 million in aid to Niger after the takeover. Delegations from Mali and Burkina Faso's military governments arrived in Niger on Monday. They met with leaders of the coup and extended a message of reassurance to the people. Both Mali and Burkina Faso had previously warned that any foreign intervention in Niger would be considered a declaration of war against them.
Niger showed no interest, not little interest. If actually little interest, then it should be changed to no interest. What disappoints me, though, is the fact that the country allowed Victoria Nuland in the country. That offer to help restore democracy should be rejected, not just because that is no business of the USA, but like the rest of the West, the USA has been exploiting Africa for like a very long time, taking advantage of the continent's resources. Niger is one of the poorest countries in the world because of that. The other African countries have been through that. If the USA suspends aid to Niger, then good. Like Niger said before, which I mentioned on an earlier recording, the USA needs to keep that aid and use it for homeless people in its own backyard. Charity begins at home. If the Western countries were actually giving aid to the African countries, why would the countries of the continent still be in such bad positions, like nothing was done to help them? Why would some countries turn away from the West and start dealing with countries like Russia, China, and Iran? Why would coups happen? Why would Niger stage a coup? It was like way past time that Niger stopped dealing with the West. The coup was a good start. At least 3 other countries in the west of Africa, Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso, currently have presidents by coup. their respective predecessors were eliminated, were taken out of their offices by coup for the same reasons. That money, which is called aid, that the Western countries claim to give to African countries, should be converted to reparations. The money only got to the respective leaders of the countries. The government officials are the only ones that benefit from the money. The other people of the countries suffer. The money should be given to African countries for reparations instead. It's not just African Americans that need reparations. The countries of Africa need them. Despite being independent, they were exploited. Some of them still are, others have stopped, but all of them need reparations. The military of Niger would rather stick with restoring democracy by themselves, cleaning out all the mess from the ousted president. They would rather wait for any military intervention. And meanwhile, countries have chosen to help them and have already sent troops to the country, including to neighbors Mali and Burkina Faso, who declared that any military intervention in Niger means war to them, to the two countries. In my opinion, Mali and Burkina Faso, as neighbors, should be concerned. I'll tell you why. The humanitarian crisis will act like a contagious disease. It will spread out of the borders of Niger and affect the neighbors. Military intervention is also like a disease. It could affect the neighbors of Niger. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.